Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Doctor, for watching our video. My name is Farisha Alisamita Hashim, metric number 2513100. And today, we will present our topic on the challenges of upholding Islam as a religion of the Federation in a multi-religious society. Let's begin with a brief introduction to the topic. Alright, Malaysia is a multiracial and multi-religious country where different religions are practiced peacefully, and Islam is recognized as the religion of the Federation under the Federal Constitution and has greatly influenced Malay civilization, governance, education, and social values. However, modernization and globalization have created challenges in upholding Islam while maintaining harmony among different religious communities. Therefore, continuous efforts are needed to strengthen Islam education, religious understanding, and unity in society. Next, the concept of upholding Islam as the religion of the Federation. It refers to the efforts to maintain the position of Islam in Malaysia while ensuring harmony and religious freedom in a multi-religious society. It also involves balancing the spatial position of Islam with the right of other religions. And last one from me, the definition of upholding Islam as the religion of the Federation can also be defined. Number one, recognition of the position of Islam as the primary religion of the Federation, which grants Islam special right in official ceremonies and government support. Number two, guaranteeing religious freedom for non-Muslims, including the right to practice and administer their religion peacefully without coercion. Number three, upholding Islam law for Muslims, including education, worship, and social management in accordance with the principle of justice and morality. And last one, fostering tolerance and harmony between multi-religious community. It is to avoid religious conflict and ensuring that religious diversity is respected in society.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Umairah binti Yaakob. My matric number 2519200. Inshallah, I will continue to the characteristic of Islamic law. First, comprehensive and integrated law. Islamic law is a comprehensive and integrated system where all its branches follow the same set of principles and standards. It does not separate rules into categories such as domestic or international law. Muslim jurists did not develop a specific field uh, called Islamic international law because they view Islamic law as a complete and applicable to all aspects of life. Concepts like contrast and custom in Islam are sufficient to regulate international relations between nations. Although there is no separate discipline of Islamic international law, Islamic law still contains principles that govern relations between states. Classical Muslim scholars focus on identify general legal principles called as usul al-fiqh and apply them to specific issue called furu al-fiqh. Even though the term international was not used, their work discussed many use involving foreign element. This show that Islamic law already provides a foundation for international relations. Second, realistic nature. Islamic law is realistic because it acknowledges that its application by people may sometimes be imperfect. In such cases, Muslim jurists have the responsibility to identify error, address problems, and guide people toward the correct understanding and practice of the law. Once jurists have clarified the ruling, it becomes the responsibility of Muslims to follow them. When multiple valid opinion exists, any view supported by strong evidence is considered acceptable in Islam. Difference in application may arise due to varying opinions and individual capabilities. However, this diversity is not a weakness. Rather, it reflects the flexibility of Islamic law and allow individuals to choose what the best suits their circumstance. Although such variations may appear as inconsistency to outsiders, they actually provide adaptability and ease in practice. To maintain order, Muslim jurists develop methodological principles called as usul al-fiqh to regulate difference and minimize confusion over time. For the third characteristic of Islamic law is aspirative nature of Islamic law. The aspirative nature of Islamic law reflects its role as a divine system that sets high ideals while recognizing human limitations. Islamic law encourages individuals to act according to their level of ability as no person is born beyond their capacity. What matters most is not merely the final outcome, but the sincere effort made to achieve it. Prophetic teaching also instruct Muslims to perform obligation within their ability and avoid what is prohibited. Next, we move to the source of Islamic law. The primary source of Islamic law are Quran, Sunnah, Ijma, and also Qiyas. The Quran combines law and ethic, meaning its teachings are not just legal rules but also moral guidance. The Quran is not meant to be a complete legal code that explains every single detail of life. Instead, it gives general principle and a framework, where the practical explanations of the principle is shown through the Sunnah. For the Sunnah, um, Sunnah provide the practical applications of Quranic teaching, such as how to perform zakah, how to perform prayer, and also obedience to the Prophet is made obligatory. His saying, his actions became a binding source of law. Therefore, the Sunnah is closely connected to the Quran and cannot easily to be separate from it. Ijma, used to validate new ruling derived from qiyas and also ijtihad. It also serves as a safeguard against possible error in analogical reasoning. Some rulings are unanimously agreed upon by the entire Muslim community, especially in obligatory matters known as consequence of the Ummah. Others are agreed upon by scholars in specific regions known as Ijma al-Khassa. Another important source of Islamic law is qiyas, analogical reasoning, which developed as a more systematic from ra'yu. Ra'yu means personal reasoning or opinion. In early Islam, ra'yu was widely used as a general method of reasoning and continued to be applied by the companions. Ryu functions as a tool to address new situations. The concept of qiyas later became more technical based on identify a common underlying cause illah and apply the ruling of one case to another.
Comparison between Islamic law and civil law. As we know, Malaysia practices a dual legal system consisting of civil law and Islamic law. However, this system sometimes creates jurisdictional conflict between Sharia courts and civil courts, which become a challenge in upholding Islam as the religion of the Federation. Islamic law is derived from divine sources, namely Quran and Sunnah, and also involve human reasoning such as ijtihad. It covers spiritual, moral, and social aspects of life. In contrast, civil law is a man-made legal system developed through legislation and human reasoning. It is divided into private law and public law and mainly focus on regulating external human conduct. These differences contribute to challenge in implementing both legal systems fairly, especially in a Malaysian multireligious society. One example of the application of Islamic law can be seen through the issue of religious expression in Malaysia. According to the article Freedom of Religious Expression in Malaysia by Muhammad Azizuddin Muhammad Sani and Diana Abdul Hamid Shah, one major controversy involved the use of word Allah by Christians. In 2008, the Malaysian government banned the Catholic newspaper, the Herald, from using the word Allah in its publication because it was believed that the use of the word by non-Muslims could create confusion among Muslims. However, the Herald disagreed with the ban and filed a court case, claiming that it violated freedom of religion and freedom of expression under the Federal Constitution. In 2009, the High Court ruled in favor of the Herald, but the Home Ministry later appealed the decision. This case clearly shows the challenge of balancing religious freedom with the protection of Islam as the religion of the Federation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Huda binti Muhammad Nazri and my metric number is 2513262. So today, I would like to present an explanation about the challenges that have been found in this topic, which is the challenges of upholding Islam in the multi-religious country. So, in challenges, we notice that 5 challenges has been founded in this topic. The first one is challenges among Muslims. We notice that Muslim nowadays is being weak in terms of knowledge and low understanding of the Islamic themselves. And also they have social problems which is lead to the lack of unity. So it's become difficult to upholding Islam in this country, which is Malaysia. The number two is the dual legal system, which is civil law and Shari law. We notice that both of law they have overlap jurisdiction between them, and it causes to the confusion because Shari court they just only focus Muslim, but the jurisdiction and human right is under the civil court. So they have a confusion between these two problems, which is lead to the challenges to uphold the Islam. So next, the point number 3 is challenges through the federal constitution. In the federal constitution, we notice that have two articles is given, which is article 3 is about the Islam, the religion of the federation, and the number 2 is article 11, which is every person has a freedom or right to profess and practice his religions. But the challenges is how to balance these two rights within the federal constitution. So next, point number 4 is perception of non-Muslim towards this Muslim. So non-Muslim, some of them feel that Muslims are given the privilege and priority. So that it will lead to the discrimination. And they also have limited understanding and knowledge about true concept of Islam. And my last point is challenges in this era, which is era globalization and the modern age. So we notice that nowadays increasing too many influence of Western culture that easily impact or easily influence to the generation nowadays. So it will become easy for them to influence by the liberal ideologies or liberal thinking and what so on, especially for them who have lack knowledge and low understanding about the Islamic concept. So these 5 challenges it leads to the difficulty to uphold Islam in this country, which is Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fatisha Bika binti Muhammad Syukur. I would like to present the solution of upholding Islam in Malaysia. Okay, so first, one of the most important solution is strengthening the role of education in institution. Islamic education should be enhanced at all levels, especially in schools, universities, and religious institutions. In Malaysia, we have Islamic institutions such as IIUM, USIM, and UIS that help Muslims understand Islamic teaching and values in daily life. Besides that, community programs such as seminars, youth camp, and awareness campaigns also help strengthen Islamic understanding and unity among Muslims. Secondly, the government also plays an important role in protecting and upholding Islam in Malaysia. Government bodies and Islamic organizations such as JAKIM, CHANS, and Pusat Zakat should work together in promoting authentic Islamic teaching and defending Islamic authority. At the same time, the government must ensure justice, unity, and harmony in multi-religious society. Next, media and technology should be used widely to spread authentic Islamic knowledge. Today, social media, website, podcasts, and online platforms make Islamic teaching more accessible to society, especially the younger generation. However, all content must come from authentic sources and follow Sharia principles to avoid sensitive issues such as PEN TV3, talk show sensasi. Lastly, coordination between civil and Sharia law must be strengthened. Referring to the federal constitution and improving cooperation between both courts can help reduce overlapping jurisdiction and legal conflicts. In addition, education and awareness regarding both legal systems should be improved among judges, lawyers, enforcement officers, and public society.